Hi friends, welcome back. Today we're talking about quadrilaterals using slope and distance. In a previous video, we talked about the slope and distance formula, but just in case you didn't write it down in your notebook, now would be a good opportunity to rectify that and go ahead and write that down now. So for your notes, our distance formula is y2 minus y1 squared plus x2 minus x1 squared. Our slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So our distance formula is good to determine if lines are congruent, and our slope formula is good for two things. It's good for one thing, which is determining the slope. But once you know the slope, if you can identify that two slopes are exactly the same, then you know those lines are parallel. If those slopes are opposite and reciprocal, and when I say opposite, I mean positive, negative, then those lines are perpendicular. So opposite reciprocal. So for example, if you have 2 over 3, the reciprocal would be 3 over 2. If you have positive 2 over 3, the opposite reciprocal would be negative 3 over 2. So let's talk about that. How can we apply this on the plane, the coordinate plane? Words are fun today. Coordinate plane. On the square ABCD shown below, A is located at 3, -1, and D is located at 5, -4. What is the slope of CD? So what we are looking for is this slope right here, and we are given these points here. We are told A is 3, -1, and D is 5, -4. Well, what we can do for this case is figure out the distance, or not the distance, I'm sorry, figure out the slope between those two things. If this is a square, which it says it is, then we know that these lines have to be perpendicular because they create right angles, and squares have 4 right angles. All the angles are right angles. So let's find the distance between these 2 points. To use our distance formula, we're going to say -4 minus -1, and then 5 minus 3. So over 5 minus 3. Add the opposite there. I get -3 over 5 minus 3 is 2. So the slope of AD is -3 over 2. So the question is asking us, what's the slope of CD right here? The slope of CD, since this is perpendicular, it's going to have to be opposite reciprocal. I used 2/3 as an example. Didn't even realize that's what exactly this was going to be. So the opposite reciprocal of this guy, the opposite of negative is positive, and the reciprocal would be 2 over 3. So the slope of CD equals 2 over 3. Now let's take a look at that on our graph here, our coordinate plane. So we know that the slope here is, we know that the slope for CD, and remember, AD is at the bottom here, so we're going to go up, right? So we know the slope for CD, which is going to go this way, is positive 2 over 3. So we're going to go up 1, 2, and over 1, 2, 3 right here, and put a dot. Now, if we do the same for A, we go up 2 and over 3, we end up right here. And sure enough, so this would give us our C, this would give us our B, and if you take a look at that, that sure enough does look like a square. So opposite reciprocal is how you would find perpendicular lines, and perpendicular lines are a part of rectangles and squares. So be on the lookout for that. Hope this helps, and we'll see you next time.